It's September 2022. Uber's worth billions. They have entire security teams, firewalls, encryption, and multi-factor authentication. Now, multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is that extra verification step you've probably seen before. You log into something, and your phone asks if it was really you. Every digital lock you can imagine is in place, and none of it mattered because the attacker wasn't going after the technology. He was going after the people operating it. Every heist needs a starting point. For one teenager, it started on the dark web. Now, if you haven't heard of that term before, the dark web is essentially a hidden part of the internet where stolen information is often bought and sold. He purchased login credentials of an Uber employee. Username, password, that's all he needed. You'd be surprised how many stolen credentials are floating around online from previous data breaches. But having a password wasn't enough. Uber had MFA enabled. Every login required the employee to approve a notification on their phone. One of those little pop-ups that says, "Was this you?" Tap to approve. So the password alone was useless, or so you'd think. Now this is where the psychology kicks in. The attacker started bombarding the employee's phone with login approval requests over and over and over again. Notification after notification after notification. Imagine you're trying to work, your phone keeps buzzing, you keep denying the request, but they don't stop. It's relentless, it's exhausting. This technique has a name. It's called MFA Fatigue. The attacker isn't breaking the technology. He's breaking the person using it. Eventually, after being worn down by the constant notifications, the employee approved one, just to make it stop. That one moment of human exhaustion, that was the door opening. But the attacker wasn't done being clever. He sent the employee a text message pretending to be the Uber IT support, the internal tech team responsible for keeping systems running. He claimed the account had suspicious activity and needed to be verified immediately. The employee, already stressed, already exhausted from the notification flood, complied. Think about that for a second. The attacker created the problem, then showed up as the solution. That's textbook social engineering. Create confusion, then offer clarity on your terms. No hacking, no code, just a text message from someone pretending to help. Once inside the network, the attacker moved quickly. He found something that made everything else easy: an internal folder containing scripts. Basically, automated instructions systems use to perform tasks, and those scripts contain admin credentials. Admin credentials are essentially a master key. It was like breaking into a building, finding a janitor's closet, and discovering the master key to every room hanging on the wall. From there, he had access to almost everything. The backbone of Uber's online infrastructure, internal tools, security systems, everything. All of it open by one tired employee. Tap and approve on their phone. Now here's where the story becomes almost unbelievable. The attacker logged into Uber's internal messaging platform employees use to communicate and posted a message that read, "I announce I am a hacker and Uber has suffered a data breach." Employees saw it and thought it was a joke. Someone trolling the company chat. People were laughing until the IT team told everyone to stop using the messaging platform immediately. Here's what makes this story even more fascinating. He didn't ask for a ransom. didn't try to quietly sell the data. He claimed he did it because he believed Uber's security was weak and wanted to expose it, and because he thought Uber drivers should be paid more. A teenager brought a billion-dollar company to a standstill just to make a point. Uber shut down internal systems across the board. Their message system went dark, engineering tools went offline, the company scrambled. The attacker was later connected to a group called Lapsus, a gang of teenagers linked to multiple high-profile breaches around the same time, including Rockstar Games, the makers of Grand Theft Auto games franchise. Teenagers, multiple billion-dollar companies, pure social engineering. So what do we take away from this? Uber had the technology, they had the security teams. What they couldn't protect against was a tired employee, a moment of human frustration, a convincing text message. The attacker never broke a single lock. He just knocked on the door at the right moment and someone let him in. That is social engineering. And that is why your biggest cybersecurity vulnerability will never be your software. It will always be the human behind the screen. If this video opened your eyes to how these attacks actually work, make sure you subscribe because we break down real breaches, real tactics, and real ways to protect yourself. Drop a comment below. Do you think you would have approved that notification? Be honest. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll catch you on the next one.